Hello students, today we are going to study class 7th chapter 13 motion and time. So my dear students, in the previous classes you have learned about the different types of motion. Okay, so you have learned about the straight line motion, you have learned about the circular motion, you have learned about the periodic motion. Okay, so these of type of motions you have studied. So when you studied all these type of motion, fine, you have experienced that the motion of the some objects are slow, okay, and motions of some objects are fast. Fine. So some vehicles, even on road, when you rode on the road, when you see some vehicles, they move faster, okay, and some vehicles they move slower. Fine. Even the same vehicle may move faster or slower at different times. Okay. So how can you decide that which object is moving faster and which object is moving slower? Okay. So if the vehicles are moving on the road in a same direction, fine, so we can easily tell which of them is moving faster and which of them is moving slower. Fine. So the distance moved by objects in a given interval of time, it helps us to decide which one is faster or slower. The most convenient way to find out which of the two or more objects is moving faster, okay, that way is to compare the distances moved by them in a unit time. Okay, so if we know the distance covered by two cars in 1 hour, then we can tell which one is faster and which one is slower. Fine. So a higher speed seems to be indicate that a given distance has been covered in a shorter time, okay, and on a larger distance covered in a given time. That means out of the two cars, if we have taken the example of two cars, so out of the two cars, suppose 100 kilometer distance is there, so which car has traveled 100 kilometer distance in the shorter time? Okay, so that car will have the more speed. Okay, that car will be faster and another car will be slower. Okay, so we call the distance covered by an object in the unit time as the speed of the object. Okay, so distance covered by an object in a unit time is the speed. So if we talk about speed, if we say that a car is moving with the speed of 50 kilometers per hour. So it means what? It means that it will cover the distance of 50 kilometers in 1 hour. Okay. So, but it is not possible for a car to move with a 50 kilometer per hour speed. Okay. 50 kilometer the same speed with 1 hour. Okay, it is not possible for a car with a constant speed to move with a constant speed for 1 hour. Okay, in fact, what happens when the car starts? It starts moving slowly and then it picks up speed. Okay, so if we say that the car has a speed of 50 km per hour, it means, okay, that it has covered 50 kilometers in 1 hour. Okay, it doesn't mean whether the car is moving with a constant speed or the car is moving not with the constant speed. Okay, so the speed calculated here is actually the average speed of the car. Okay, so here we don't say the average speed, we say only the speed. Okay, so speed is what? Speed is the distance covered by an object in a unit time. Unit time means in 1 hour, 1 minute or 1 second. That is known as speed. So the average speed or speed is equal to total distance covered divided by total time taken. Okay. So but in everyday life, okay, we often not find the objects moving with a constant speed over a long distances or for a longer period of time. Fine. So if the speed of an object moving along a straight line, it keeps on changing, then that type of motion is known as non-uniform motion. In the same way, when an object moving along a straight line, it moves with a constant speed, then that type of motion is known as uniform motion. And in uniform motion, the average speed is same as the actual speed. Not there. So, do you know how our ancestors, they used to get the time? Okay, they get the time, they can get the approximate time only by just looking at the shadows. Okay, in the same way, they consider one day between the one sunrise, time between the one sunrise and the another sunrise, the sunrise of the next day. They consider a one day. In the same way, okay, they consider 1 month, okay, from one new moon to the next. In the same way, our year was fixed as the time taken by the earth to complete one revolution of the sun. So in this way, you can see often we need to measure an intervals of time which are much shorter than our day. So nowadays, clocks or watches, they are the most common devices, okay, for the measurement of time. Fine. So how the clocks and watches, they measure time? So the working of clock is very complex, but all the clocks, okay, they makes of use of some periodic motion. Okay, you know what is periodic motion? In the previous classes you have studied, when an object repeats its motion after a regular interval of time, then its motion is known as periodic motion. So all the time measuring devices, okay, all the clocks, they make use of some periodic motion. Fine. So in this way, one of the most well-known periodic motion is that of simple pendulum. Okay. So now we will talk about the simple pendulum. So in simple pendulum, it is a simple device. Okay. So how it is made? If we talk about the simple pendulum, in simple pendulum there is a metallic ball, and that metallic ball is known as bob. Fine. That bob is suspended with the help of a thread, okay, to a stand. Fine. And that system is known as, what that system is known as simple pendulum. A metallic ball is there, bob is there, and that metallic ball is, that bob is tied with the help of a thread, and it is suspended with the stand, and this arrangement is known as what? This is known as simple pendulum. Okay, so if you just take the bob to one side, okay, and you just leave it, so what will happen? It will start moving to and fro. So that to and fro motion of a simple pendulum is known as what? That is known as periodic or oscillatory motion. It is repeating the same distance at a regular interval of time. So it is periodic motion, and that to and fro motion is known as oscillatory motion. So if we talk more about the simple pendulum, okay, when the simple pendulum, the metallic ball of the simple pendulum, it is at rest, okay, when it is not moving, it is at rest, then that position is known as its mean position. So O, in this diagram, O is the mean position, okay. If you take the pendulum at one side, fine, and you just leave it, so it starts moving to and fro. So now, suppose it is going from mean position O to one extreme position A, then it is coming back to mean position O, and then it is going to another extreme position B, and coming back to the mean position O. Fine. So this is the to and fro motion, and that to and fro motion is known as oscillatory motion. Fine. So the maximum distance covered by a ball, the maximum distance covered by a ball, okay, from mean position to extreme position, that means this is OA, this is the mean position, this is the extreme position. So if a metallic ball, if a simple pendulum, it moves, suppose the distance covered by a simple pendulum to move from the mean position to one extreme position A, from A to another extreme position B, and then come back again to the mean position O. That complete distance is known as what? That complete distance is known as one oscillation. Fine. Again I am repeating. From the mean position, okay, the distance covered by a simple pendulum, okay, from the mean position O to one extreme position A, from A to another extreme position B, and then again come back to the mean position O. That complete distance is known as what? That complete distance is known as one oscillation. And the time taken by the pendulum to complete one oscillation is known as time period. Fine. So time period is what? Time period is the time taken by the pendulum to complete one oscillation. So suppose a simple pendulum is doing the oscillatory motion, okay. Suppose you have noted down the time, okay, total time of 20 oscillations. Fine. So total time taken to complete 20 oscillation is 42 seconds. And number of oscillations, here the number of oscillation is 20. So what will be the time period? The time period will be 42 upon 20, that is 2 upon 1 second. That is the time taken to complete one oscillation. So what is time period? Time period is the total time taken upon number of oscillations. Okay, so that is time period and the unit is second. So nowadays, okay, one more type of watch is used to measure the time, that is the quartz. Okay, you have heard the name of the quartz watch. Okay, so in this quartz watch, simple pendulum is not used. In the quartz watch, what is used? A simple circuit is used. Okay, a simple circuit is used to measure the time. The units of time, units of distance, and units of speed. Okay, so as you all know, the basic unit of time is second. Okay, and the symbol is small s. The larger units are minutes. Okay, the symbol is min, and hours, the symbol is small h. So, and you all know the relation between them. Okay, 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds and 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. You all already know the relations between them. So, if we talk in the same way, if we talk about the units of distance, the units of distance are meters. The common units are meters. The symbol is small m, and kilometers km. Fine. Now, what about the units of speed? So, you all know the speed is equal to total distance covered upon total time. So, what is the unit of distance? Suppose the unit of distance we are taking meter. So, upon time, suppose time we are taking in seconds. So, the unit of speed is meter per second. Fine. If we are taking the total distance in, suppose we are taking the total distance in kilometers and the total time we are taking in hours. So what will be the unit of speed? Then the unit of speed will be kilometer per hour. In the same way, if we are taking the total distance covered in meter and the total time in minute, okay, then the speed, the unit of speed is if we have the speed, if you know the speed of a moving vehicle, okay, and you know the total time, okay, it had traveled. So how can you obtain the distance traveled by that vehicle? So distance covered is equal to speed into time. Okay, so if you know the speed, if you know the time, you can also find the total distance covered by multiplying the speed and time. Fine. So in the same way, if you know the distance covered by any vehicle or any object, and you know the speed of that object, okay, then you can find the time taken to cover that distance. So in this case, the time taken will be distance upon speed. The time taken will be distance upon speed. So out of three variables, if you know any one, okay, you can find. If you know any two, you can find the third one. So if you talk about the devices which are used to measure the speed, okay, so speed and distances. So the devices which are used to measure the speed, okay, so you have seen that device where you have seen in the two-wheelers. In the two-wheelers you have seen a meter, okay, in which the speed is given in kilometer per hour. Okay, like scooters, motorcycles. If you all must have seen devices there. Okay, a meter is there in which the speed is given in kilometer per hour. Even on the dashboards of car, you have seen that device in which the speed is given in kilometer per hour. Okay, by which you can come to know your vehicle is moving by which speed. So that device is known as what? That